All right, welcome to today's class on listings and landing pages. My name is Leah with Scott Leroy Marketing. In today's class, just to give you an overview, I will be taking you through how listings populate into your command account and also how we can use those listings to create a listing landing page. I'm going to show you how to create a landing page so you can promote maybe a listing that you just got, right? Just listed, or maybe you just sold the listing. Secondly, I'm going to show you how to make an open house sign-in landing page. And thirdly, I'll show you how to make a neighborhood landing page for your long-term buyers to help pique their interest. So the three landing pages we'll be going over primarily today. And so if you could join me by logging into command at agent.kw.com. Again, that's agent.kw.com. Okay, I like to remember that like it's the agent login for kw.com. Right, so agent.kw.com to log in. And if you haven't already, that's a great thing to put in your bookmarks bar for your browser. So if you put that up here, you can save that so you can quickly access command. Command is the site here is somewhere you'll be going, daily as a KW agent. All right, and before we get started on landing pages, we just need to do a small amount of housekeeping. I want to show you where all of your contact information will pull from for every landing page you create in the system to ensure that it is correct. So if you could follow me to click on your name on the very top right. And just a heads up, if you're still working on getting logged into command, first of all, I feel you. I have a million passwords for everything as well. There is a forgot password option on there if you can't get into command, and you can always shoot an email to support@scottleroymarketing.com and we can help reset your password as well, just if you're still working on getting logged into command. But once you're there, let's go ahead and click on your name on the top right of command and click on settings from that dropdown. So again, click on your name on the top right of command and then settings. And if you are taking notes in today's class, I'll try to point out the noteworthy moments. This would be one of them, okay? Anytime that you get a contact information change, like you get a new email address, new phone number, new headshot, you name it, these steps that I'm showing you now will be where you'll want to update that. So step one, name on the top right of command. Step two, settings from that dropdown. Then once that page loads, on the left-hand side, we want to click on Connect Settings. So left-hand side menu, we want Connect Settings and then Marketing Profile. So those are the steps. If you're jotting them down, I'll say it again real quick. So your name on the top right of command, settings from that drop-down, Connect Settings on the left-hand side, and then Marketing Profile. And this is literally where every item you create in command will pull your contact information. So it's really important that this is correct. Your contact information will pull from here for your mobile app, your KW website, any smart plan emails or email templates that you create in the system will pull your contact from here. And of course, for today's class, all your landing pages will pull from here as well. So let's eye over this to make sure it's all correct, all right? And we wanna make sure especially that the required fields are filled in. So if you're filling this in for the first time here, just a heads up, it will not let you save this unless you fill in all required fields. So the headshot is one of them, and then the rest of the required fields are marked with this red asterisk. Okay, you'll see this red star throughout command quite a bit, meaning that it's a required field to save it. Okay, just keep an eye out for that. You'll see it a lot. As you scroll down, in the very least, make sure that all of your contact information looks correct. This is where your phone number is pulling from, address, email address, website, and so forth. Okay, if this is not filled out at all, the good news is we can do it for you if you would rather. So I'm putting a link in the chat if you would like to grab for after class. So for the marketing profile, I'm pasting this in the chat just so you guys have it. And if you take that link and put it in your browser, that will pull up just a short form for you to fill out, and it will prompt you for the information that we need to get this set up for you. It will also prompt us to set up your KW Command IDX website for you. So if that's something you would like us to do, please feel free to fill out that form and we're more than happy to. Again, we'll fill out this section for you and also create your website connected to Command. All right, that is in the chat. If you want to grab that for later, it's just scottleroymarketing.com/command if you're watching this class recorded. So if you made any changes here, guys, make sure to scroll to the very bottom to click save. All right, but just so you guys note, there is a place for social media options here, your bio, and so forth. So the more that you can customize this section, the more it will automatically customize any marketing piece that you create in Command. And of course, again, we're happy to help you with this. So now that we have all the quote unquote housekeeping done for the landing pages, let's go ahead and explore how listings get into our account in general, and then we'll kickstart a test listing landing page. I'll show you how to create that firsthand. So first of all, let's go over to the listing section of Command. So on this far left side menu, this menu right here, just a quick note on this, if you click on the KW icon on the very top left, it'll pop out what the menu does so you can get the hang of what each icon means. And honestly, guys, the best way to learn Command is truly just starting at the top of this list and working your way down. Click on each section, see what you have access to, see what tools you have. And just, bear in mind, I want to give you guys a little, something to take with you this weekend. I know when I'm learning new technology, I literally tell myself, okay, don't stress out. This is fun. You can learn this new technology. It'll be no problem. You'll learn it good as new, just like the old technology. I say that to myself every time, and then 10 minutes in, my blood is boiling. So, if technology frustrates you to an extent, just know I feel you with that. And as you're playing around with Command, try to think of it like this. Grab a case of beer, a bottle of wine, sit on the couch this weekend, click on each one of these menu items on the left-hand side of Command to simply have a goal of just learning what is available to you in Command. What could you potentially use for your business as an opportunity to grow that? After you learn just in general what's in Command, then we have nice 10-minute tip videos on every single section of this. So at that point, you can then, feel free to email us looking for that video or check out slmtraining.com and we'll have a training video on that topic. So let us know how we can help you with that, but I just want to let you know that's just my little tidbit for training with Command. Just start at the top and work your way down this menu, and that will take you through learning the system. And without further ado, let's go ahead and click on the second option to the bottom. It's the listing section of Command. It'll have the little listing sign icon. And yeah, sure. Also done, I have not done anything quite yet, but we will slow it down. So this is the first section we are going in Command, and we are in the listing section of Command. And in this listing section, this is where you will see all listings in Command. All right, so when you click on listings initially, right, you will see here that it takes you to My KWLS. So it should show all listings in theory that you have under My KWLS. Now, KWRI is still working on this feature. So if you're seeing that it says there are no listings associated to your account, but you do have listings, don't panic. Okay, I'll show you how you can find your listings instead. This is a feature that KWRI is working on, grouping all of your listings under My Listings here. Okay, but for right now, the best way for you to locate your listings is to click View All. Okay, and this is really anytime you're looking for your listing in Command, right? We want to go ahead. So in this listing section, let's go ahead and click View All. On the right-hand side. All right, and from View All, I just want to click on the listing search. All right, and this will show you all listings that are in Command. So the next logical question is, all right, how do my listings get into Command and what listings are in here? Those are great questions. And the answer is that your listings will automatically come over from the MLS for you. So there is nothing you have to do to get your listing to pull over to the command, to the KWLS 2.0. There's nothing you have to do. Your listing will pull over automatically within about 24 hours, but usually it's much sooner. KWRI's goal is to get that to pulling over every 16 minutes. So that is coming over pretty quickly. But all listings across the entire country will be visible in your KWLS 2.0 here. So this is not just listings in your MLS. This will be listings across the entire US and parts of Canada. So this is just kind of like, you know, a mini MLS for you. You can continue using your MLS as normal, but I'm going to show you how these listings play a part and how they filter into the landing page that we're about to create. You'll see these listings pull into Facebook ads and your website automatically. Okay, so again, just to note, there's nothing you have to do to get the listings to populate on your landing page or your Command IDX website or your mobile app. The great thing about Command is that the IDX is already built in. And what that means is that all listings are automatically searchable on your landing pages, on your mobile app, on your Command website. Right? They will all be searchable for you automatically, which is really great. There's no IDX set up. Okay. All right, so now that we have our listings right here, I do want to show you guys how this pulls into landing pages. So keep this in the back of your mind. I'm going to expand on listings as we go throughout the class to help you guys understand this. Okay, but this is how listings will automatically pull into your account. If your listing is not populating, right? If you search for your listing right here, you can search by property address, MLS number, and so forth. And if you search by your listing and you're not able to pull that up, KW International will just need to push that over. So you can shoot Keller Williams International a quick note that your listing needs to be pushed over by clicking on the question mark on the top right of Command and click Chat with Support. So again, if you're taking notes on today's class, generally your listing will automatically come over, right? But just in case, if you're not seeing your listing display when you search it under all listings, you can go ahead and shoot support a message so that they can push that listing in. And we're of course happy to take a look as well to see if we can help you find that listing. All right, guys, so now that we've seen this listing section, let's apply it to landing pages, right? To help this make a little more sense of how it interacts with your system. So the first thing that we're going to do to create a landing page is that is going to be in the consumer icon on the left-hand side. Right, so to create a landing page, okay, we are now going to create a listing landing page. So in the next part of class, I will be showing you how to create a just listed or a just sold landing page. Okay, so first thing we are doing is clicking on the consumer icon on the very bottom left menu. So it's the very bottom icon on the left-hand side for the consumer icon. And your page may be blank here if you don't have landing pages created previously, and that's totally fine. So to create a new landing page, we're going to click Create a New Site on the top right. And then if you could pause on this part. This is very important, so I want to just explain something real quick. So in case I lost anyone, I'm in Command and I clicked on the consumer icon where my mouse is on the left-hand side menu. And then we are clicking Create a New Site on the very top right. And you're given two options, and that's what I want to explain. First of all, you'll have an option to create a page on your agent website. All right, so that's if you want to create a custom page on your Command IDX website. But for this class, we're going to talk about creating landing pages or as a standalone page, that second option. Now, if you're like me, right, prior to joining KW, I had the question, what are these landing pages you speak of? How is that different from my regular website? Okay, so I just want to explain that to you guys. So your landing page, right, you can create a landing page And the goal of your landing page is, of course, to capture leads, but it goes above and beyond that. So the idea of a landing page is a single page website, and the goal is to exchange. So your client or whoever goes to the landing page, you're asking for their contact information in exchange for something of value. So for example, let's say your landing page, you have a contact form that says, hey, if you fill out this contact form, I'll send you a 10% off coupon at Lowe's. That's exchanging their contact information for something of value. Or, hey, you want to see this listing? Do you want a private showing on this home listing? Contact me and I'll give you that private showing. Again, contact information for something of value. Or do you want a free CMA done on your home? Leave your contact information and I'll send that over. Okay, so that's the idea here, is a single page website to capture leads, but again, you're providing something of value, right? Because I don't know about you, but I do everything in my power not to give my contact information out on the internet. Because what happens next? You get 9 million emails that you can't unsubscribe from, and it's a struggle, right? So, you know, the thought process is there. You want to give them incentive. Why would I give you my contact information? What is the incentive to me? What am I going to get out of that? Okay, so that's the thought pattern for landing pages. And now let's take a stroll on how to create that. So if you could click on that second option, that as a standalone page. I know that was quite the spiel, so if I lost anyone, I'm just on the consumer section of Command. We clicked create a new site on the top right. And then the second option as a standalone page, and click create page. All right, so this is our blank page that we can use to create landing pages. And landing pages are shockingly easy to create in Command. It's one of my favorite tools that Command provides. So I think you guys are really gonna like it. First thing we're gonna do, and I try to do it first because I forget every time, let's just go ahead and rename our landing page on the top left. So you'll see a little space to rename it. And we're just doing a practice here. So let's say I wanna do 123 Main Street just listed. Okay, so you can name that whatever you would like it to be. Only you see that. And now here's where the fun begins. So these widgets on the right-hand side panel are your best friend and make this way easier to create these landing pages. So the blank page in the center will be your landing page, okay? So what we need to do now is drag some of these widgets on the right-hand side over to our blank page. So if you would like to join me by grabbing the branded header, that's usually what I start off on to put first on my landing page. We add the widgets by clicking your mouse on the widget. Hold your mouse down and drag it over to the blank page to then release your mouse. And don't worry too much about what it looks like when it's first dropped on your page. We're going to configure this so you'll be able to edit all of this in just a moment. Right, so right now we're just trying to set up the general layout of our landing page. So next, since I'm creating a just listed landing page, I like to add the listing next. So I'm going to grab the widget that says listing, click and hold your mouse down to move it to the blank page. But now I'd like to bring up, see this green line that's floating around when I bring the widget over? That's showing me where on the page I'm dropping that widget. Do I want it above the previous widget or below it? In this case, I want it below it, so I can release my mouse and it will drop that widget. Okay. Again, don't get hung up on the widget itself. We're going to be configuring all of this to customize it, to actually personalize it to, your listing. Right, so right now we're just creating the layout. So let's scroll down to the bottom of this, what we just created. I usually like to add a couple more widgets at this time. So far I have added the branded header and the listing widget. So then I'm now going to add the other widgets. Typically next I would add in the lead capture form. Here we go, lead form. And so they can contact me. Right? Any landing page that you create, I would always suggest putting in this lead form so they can actually reach out to you on the landing page. Now, that's really all you need to do, right? Those 3 steps, and I have this nice looking listing landing page. However, there are some other really cool widgets that I just want to show you guys that could really help to provide even more value on these landing pages. You can just watch on my screen if you would like, but just certain things like the Market Snap, I really like. I'm going to pull that over so I can show you guys. And again, you can just watch on my screen. Right, so I'm going to grab the Market Snap and pull that over. Again, guys, widgets are as easy as clicking, holding, dragging, and dropping. Just look where you're dropping it on there. Okay, this will give a neighborhood statistic, so I like that. I'm also going to just bring over for you guys so you can see how it works, a video widget in case you would like to add a virtual tour. And lastly, I'll add in some agent branding on the bottom. So I would encourage, coming in here and playing with the widgets. You can pull over whichever ones you would like to practice with today, and I'll show you how to go through these and customize them to your listing, or even to another agent's listing in your office. Okay, I see that. A good question, can you create this even if it's not your listing? The answer is yes. So if you have like an open house coming up and it's not your listing, but you're doing the open house, you can create this listing landing page. I would, in general, we would suggest running it by the broker. I mean, generally the listing agent would know if you're doing an open house in their listing. But before creating marketing pieces on another agent's listing, that's really all I would say is check with them to make sure that's okay. But other than that, absolutely, it will allow you to search all listings across the entire US and parts of Canada. So you can do that. All right, guys, so I added over a few more widgets here. I added over the video widget, that's what this one is, and also the agent branding on the bottom, just to complete that up. That's this one. So any of them that you would like to use, click drag and drop. And once you're done, this is where now we would go about configuring the widget. So you'll notice that it's grayed out. Publish page on the top right is grayed out. The reason it is grayed out is because you have not configured your widgets quite yet. So every time after you lay the widgets, you always then have to configure the widgets. It's basically like customizing it, right? This listing widget, that's not your listing, even though I wish it was, right? We need to customize all these widgets. So this would always be the next step, is configure widgets. Before we do that though, guys, I just want to point out that you can add content blocks to the landing page itself. So if you want to add in just like a paragraph of text, maybe about the listing or whatever the case may be, or just, a single image, if you want to add that in, there are a couple content blocks under the widgets. It's kind of hiding. I usually try to stick with the widgets just because it is already created for me, but those options are available if you would like them. So if you can now click on configure widgets on the bottom right. Depending on where you are, it might take you to something slightly different on this right-hand column, okay? But what you're looking at right here on my screen is all of the widgets that I have added. And I can see that the green check marks are widgets that have already been configured or do not need further configuration. And the ones without a green check mark means once I do that, it will allow me to save it. Okay, so I just need all green check marks in order to publish this page. So I'm going to start from the top one. So I'm going to click on the very top widget. So well, there's a 1 here for my branded header, if that's the one you use too. So that's taking us to edit this. So all of this contact information is pulling from your command marketing profile, which is where we started in today's class. If any of this information is incorrect, you can of course update that right from here. And we can go ahead and add in a header text. So let's say I want to put, just listed or proudly presenting 123 Main Street, whatever the case may be. It only allows 30 characters, so it can't be crazy long, but once you enter in the header text, you can go ahead and click save and apply on the bottom. And you'll see that pop in right away. So if you're not crazy about how that's looking, you can always change that and resave it. All right, so that's the first widget. So you'll see that depending on what the widget is, there's not really too much you have to do to configure it. So I'm done with this first widget. So on the top, see these arrows right here on the top of each widget? It says 1 through 6. Those are 1 out of 6 widgets. So I'm going to click the next button to go to the next widget. So these arrows here. So now this is where we're selecting our listing. All right, so from here, we'll go ahead and click Browse Listing. So this is where I was talking about all the listings that automatically pull into your command account, right? It pulls into the KWLS 2.0. So these are all listings, again, across the entire US and parts of Canada. So you can search right here for the listing. And then click select. If you don't have a listing or don't want to search for it, feel free to just click select next to a random one. That's fine. No one will know. You can click select next to any home you would like to, just to practice, to see what it looks like. Now, typically, depending on the home, it will show all home listings here. Let me see if there's another one with more photos. So depending on the home, it should show all home listings right here, all right? So right here, you should see all of the listings as long as the agent has all of those listing photos uploaded into the MLS. So you can decide which photo you would like to be the main photo. I realize there's just one for this one. But if you select a different listing that has multiple photos, you'll be able to select. So if you don't want the front and you want, let's say, like there's a cool pool in the backyard, you could choose the backyard image instead. And that will pick whatever image will show right here. So when I click save and apply, it'll pop in the actual home listing photo here. Okay, and the remaining photos, so again, typically if all photos are in the MLS, it will show all the photos here, and then it will scroll through those photos right here as well. So that's as easy as it is to pop in the listing widget, right? All we had to do was pick the listing, and then it automatically brought over all the all the property information, all the information from the MLS directly, a map and so forth. Okay, so it really sets that up nicely for you without a lot of work, which I love. So now I can go ahead and click the next button again. So I'm going up, so this widget's done now, right? Just a couple clicks and you can see that once you get in the hang of this, you can really fly through this. So now that I'm done with this widget, I'm going to go ahead and pop over to the next one. And again, these arrows on the top will help you go to the next widget. All right, so here we have the contact form. So that's the next widget. That one particularly, you don't have to do much with. Okay, for that one, we can just go ahead and change this header if we would like to. So if you would like it to say something different other than interested, let's talk. Maybe you want it to say contact or a private showing. Again, every time I click save and apply, it should update it right away. There we go. Contact for a private showing. And the reason I want to show you that is, you know, if you're not crazy about what you just did, you can always type in something new and save it again. So I'm going to the next widget, guys. And of course, if you don't have a widget I have, you know, feel free to watch on my screen just to get a hang of how to use that widget. So I'm clicking next again, and this is a newer widget. I say newer, and it's probably in the last 6 months, but this widget here will allow you to put a video on your landing page. I particularly like this for virtual tours, or, you know, there are mobile app. There are also mobile app YouTube videos that KW puts out. So KW puts out a lot of marketing videos as well. So in theory, So in theory, I would have my virtual tour up on YouTube, right? Or let's say it was a KW marketing video that I wanted to add, right? This is a video that I just have saved that KW put out about the mobile app. So let's say this is the video I want to add. But you know, in real practice, a virtual tour would be really useful to add to a listing landing page. Whatever the case may be, the virtual tour would need to be, let's say, uploaded onto YouTube, or typically if you have like a videographer take that you would generally send you a link to that video, right, for that virtual tour. So either way, you'll take that link. So we are taking the link of the YouTube video. You can grab that just by clicking on the URL bar on the very top of your screen, right, the address bar at the very top. You can simply click on and it will highlight that entire address. Then you can right click to copy that entire address. And I'm switching tabs here, guys. I'm going back to the landing page and you can just watch on my screen. And this is where I'm going to right click to paste in that video URL that I got from YouTube. And now once I save and apply, I come on down and we have the video started. Okay, so that is how you can add in any videos from YouTube, okay, or really anywhere that it's hosted. So if that's hosted on Vimeo or another, you know, YouTube is the most popular. But as long as your videographer sends you a link, you can absolutely add in the virtual tour by adding in the video URL. We would recommend adding in a video URL over uploading the video straight to here. It tends to work better. Okay, if you have questions on that, guys, please feel free to let me know. Okay, so now we're on the home stretch here, guys. We just have a couple more widgets to do. And of course, the less widgets you add, the faster you can get through this. I have not seen a limit on how many widgets that you can add to a landing page. I'm not sure if there is one. Just keep in mind, I believe you can use all of them on one. I know that was a question in the chat, so just wanted to answer that. All right, so now we have the market snap, which I really like to include on listing landing pages because it will give the market information for the neighborhood that the listing is in. So how I would set that up, so this is one of the widgets I added. The only thing I have to do is change, so you'll see again, right, anything that you have to do, anything required, you'll always see that red star in command. It's just so helpful to note that because there are certain fields you don't have to fill in. And there's some you do have to in order for it to save completely. So really helpful to note that. But I'll go ahead and put in the postal code for this listing. And once I change that listing postal code, that's when it will update this neighborhood dropdown. All right, so once you change the zip code here, it will then give you all the neighborhoods in that zip code from the dropdown. So you'll have to scroll from what I've seen. I haven't seen a way to search this. But if you scroll through, you'll be able to click on that and click Save and Apply for that to apply it to the widget. All right, so we see here's the updated version, right? The updated widget with the new name of the neighborhood, the new map of it, and the new stats. My biggest advice on this widget is to not update the header right here. It will automatically update with the neighborhood name if you do not update the header. So I usually leave that blank so that it updates because it looks really cool with the two colors. This widget is the Market Snap. The name of it is right here. It's New Market Snap. So here's the name of the widget as well. That's one I really like to use on listing landing pages. All right, guys, last widget here. Okay, and that's just my agent branding on the bottom. Of course, it's optional to add. I always like to have my contact information at the top and at the bottom for them, just so no matter where they are on the page, I'm there staring at them and they have my phone number. So I like to have that on both. And I'll click Save and Apply. So make sure you click Save and Apply on the bottom, guys, now that we're done with all of our widgets. And now if you would like to, or you can just watch on my screen, I'm going to click this. So to the left of the widget name on the right-hand side, there's a little back arrow that will take me back to all of my widgets, like a list of all of my widgets. And this, I just want to show you guys how it has all of these green check marks now. So now it will allow me to publish the page. Okay, so now this is live, the option to publish a page. So I'll go ahead and do that and click yes. Everything from the branded header will pull from your command marketing profile where we started at the beginning of class. So that'll be up on your name on the top right and settings for that question, Daniel. All right, guys, so you have successfully created your listing landing page. So that's exciting. So now let's talk about how we would go about distributing that, how we can market it, how would that be useful for us in our business. So that listing landing page will be that top one. Okay, right now I can see I'm going to start on the left-hand side here. So that is on, that's active right now. But you can go ahead and turn that off if you need to, right? But that is enabled right here. Caitlin, great question. I meant to answer that. Give me 1 second, I'll answer you. All right, guys, and as we come across the side here, you can simply click on the landing page if you want to pull it open to see a preview of that. So this is what it would look like live. Okay, this is your landing page live. Okay, so let's say something funky like this is happening and we're not liking that. Okay, let's say we need to go back and edit something or remove a widget, right? And to show you guys that. So if you accidentally add a widget or you were doing it just to play with it and now you don't like it and want to remove it, whatever the case may be, how you would go back to edit any of these landing pages is by clicking the 3 dots on the very far right and click to edit that. All right, so in that case, if I scroll down, let's say I can go ahead and remove this widget. All right, how you would remove a widget, guys, is if you click on the widget, it will then outline it in this blue box and give you these teal options, like some options in a teal box. It's the trash can icon that you'll want to click to get rid of that widget. So again, click on the widget and then it's the trash can icon in the teal toolbar. That will allow you to delete any widgets and then you can go ahead and save that. So I click save on the top right to go ahead and save any changes I made. Okay, so now that we know how to edit our landing page as well, let's talk about how we can best use this for marketing. Now, a lot of agents will use these listing landing pages on their sign, on their yard sign, for 2 reasons. First of all, it looks really impressive to your listing clients that, wow, my agent created a personalized website just to market my listing. Wow, what a great tech savvy agent I have. So it really impresses your listing clients to create a personalized website for their listing. Secondly, it really helps buyers. I don't know about you, but if I drive past a yard sign and I see a flyer box, I don't want another piece of paper. Okay, so instead, I would much rather see a link to go to find out all the information that would be on that flyer, right? So that's really crossing over to helping people driving by. They don't have to get out of their car. They can simply put in a link. Now, with that being said, this is the link to your current landing page. That's a little crazy, right? That's really long and crazy. You can update it to an extent, just so you guys know. You can edit that URL by clicking the 3 dots on the far right and clicking change URL. However, you know, that'll only give you to about right here to update. And still, that's too long and crazy of a URL to put on a yard sign for people driving through to see that and put it in their phone. So what we would suggest is purchasing a domain name from GoDaddy. I'm going to put a link in the chat on how to get a GoDaddy domain name for 99 cents for the first year. Domain names are pretty cheap after the first year. They're generally like $12 a year. In case you're wondering what a domain name is, let me explain that real quick. So if you have a landing page, for example, like this one with a crazy URL that would do no good on your marketing, you can actually purchase a custom domain name from a site like GoDaddy. And what that means is you can just purchase any website address that you want. So for example, if you want to buy 123mainstreet.com, if that's available, right, we could then help you forward it to this listing landing page. So if someone drove by your sign and they saw on your sign, like I've seen a lot of agents, they'll buy a rider, you know, like the rider to slide on the very top of their sign. They'll buy a rider that says the URL for their listing landing page, like 123mainstreet.com. You know, for more information, visit 123mainstreet.com. And that would then take them directly to the listing landing page so they can see pictures of the interior, exterior, and have all the details right from there. Okay. So we would recommend that extra step if you plan to promote your domain name. A QR code would work. You could also use a QR code for that. It's just QR codes are more helpful for like print marketing, like if they had the flyer in their hand, right, because they need to scan it. Just in comparison to driving by your yard sign, that's when a domain name would be helpful. But a QR code is a great idea, and we can actually help create custom QR codes for you guys. If you create a landing page and want a QR code created out of it, shoot us an email, support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we can help you. And then once you purchase that domain name in GoDaddy, these settings have to be updated in your GoDaddy account to forward it to your landing page. That is something that we can do for you though, before your eyes start to cross and you want to pull out your hair. We can help forward your domain for you. So all you would have to do is go purchase the domain name. Again, anywhere like 99 cents to $12 for a year in general. So all you have to do is purchase it, then shoot us an email, let us know that you want that domain forwarded to your landing page, and we can take it from there. So we're happy to help with that if you would like, or we can shoot you instructions if you email us. All right, guys, so from here, all right, so now that we have, our listing landing page, I also want to explain, right, that was marketing your landing page on your yard sign. But you can also marketing these landing pages if you don't want to get a domain name. If that just honestly just went over your head and hurt your brain, that is an extra thing you do not have to do. That is an optional item to purchase that domain name, just kind of an advanced tip. But you can actually share this URL for your landing page on your social media without purchasing a domain name. So if you pull up Facebook, for example, you can actually take this URL and post it to your Facebook page. Here, I'll pull up I have a practice Facebook business page just so I can show things like this. So for example, if I were to copy this URL here, I could bring up my Facebook business page, create a post, and I can go ahead and paste in that listing landing page here and type about it, right? And it'll pull a preview of the home. Here I could put something like just listed, the price, where it is. Let me know if you would like a private showing and so forth. All right, so that's another great option of how to share your landing pages. You can do that on social media, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, to help promote your listing. First of all, obviously it's great to drive traffic to your listings, but even above and beyond that, right? That's driving leads back to command. So when you're sharing these landing pages, yes, we want your listing to sell, but we also want to use your listings as a vice to capture future leads, right? So promoting your current listings on social media with landing pages gives them a spot to look at your listing, realize that you are a very professional looking realtor with your professional looking technology, and now they have an option to contact you right from this landing page. So it's really valuable to use on your social media to post those landing pages. And the next logical question would be, going along our class here is, how do I see the leads that come in, right, on these landing pages? So as far as leads go, when they come into from your landing pages, so you'll see an option to view how many leads are coming in from each landing page here. Okay, so you'll see that right from here. But I also want to show you guys that it will pop in on the bell icon. So on the very top right of command, You'll see this bell icon. This will show you all new notifications in your account. I would recommend keeping an eye on this bell notification, as it will tell you anytime a lead comes in or someone contacts you from your website. You'll also receive notifications from the Kelly app. So make sure you have the Kelly app on your phone. Okay, and lastly, I want to go ahead and show you how you can view all of your leads in your contact database. So we're going to come back to this consumer section because I'm going to show you one more thing in here. But this is important, so if you would just hop on over to contacts with me, we're going to go to your contact database. I just want to show you guys how you can pull up all new leads in your database, only leads, so you can check those to make sure you've reached out to everyone. So I am in the contact section of Command. This is your contact database. In order to filter by only leads, I can click the filters option on the top of my database and then click leads only and apply. And that will pull any leads that come in digitally. So that means from your website, from landing pages, from your mobile app, from kw.com. I would always recommend checking over this to make sure that you've reached out to all of your leads. And we did that again from the filters section. So just so you guys see where that is, we went to filters, leads only, and then apply. And the cool thing is you can actually save this view as a smart plan. So, smart view. So what smart views are, it's essentially creating a view of your database. So if you want to just create this as a view, I could click on create smart view. So whatever you search for, in this example, I searched all of my leads only. Then I can click create smart view on the top to maybe name this leads only. You can set it as your default if you want to, but I probably wouldn't. I mean, you can if you want to see your leads first, but just in order to see all of your contacts, you'll have to clear the smart plan. So click Save Smart Plan View. Wow, Smart View. And then at that point, this is where now we have the Smart View from our list here. We can easily toggle between all contacts and leads only, right? Just from picking from this dropdown. So you don't have to do those searches anymore. That was a little off topic, but I feel like that would help you guys in order to make sure you can see all your leads and making sure that they're all attended to. Those are the best practices I have found. All right, guys, so now let's go ahead and create an open house sign-in sheet. This open house sign-in sheet is pretty much exactly like we just did, so it'll take us about 5 minutes here. Won't take long. It is the same exact concept. I just want to show you because it's a pretty cool feature to be able to use and to capture all traffic that comes through your open house. So I'm going back to the consumer tab. Okay, I'm hopping around here a little bit, but we are going to the consumer tab, the very bottom icon, the left side menu. So I see a question that came in, can you add a landing page to your KW website? Built in with the system, the answer is no. So the answer is yes, but let me explain that. With how the system works, there's not a way to just add one of these landing pages to your command site. The landing pages are built to be separate from the command IDX custom pages. With that being said, we can do it for you. We can help code it in. So if you would like for us to, add a landing page onto your KW command IDX website, we can do that for you. I would recommend emailing us, support@scottleroymarketing.com, as we typically have to code it in. But just for all intensive purposes, when you guys go to create pages on here, with that being said, make sure you know that you are selecting either a landing page or a new custom page for your agent site, because those don't go back and forth. Hopefully that helps. All right, last one, guys, for the standalone page. I'm just going to show you quickly how to create an open house sign-in. So again, I am in the consumer icon on the left-hand side menu. I'm clicking create a new site on the top right. And now we are clicking as a standalone page. Okay, so that's what we did last time, and then click create page. All right, open house sign-in sheet. For this, I usually add 3 widgets in. So this is going to be pretty quick for you guys. First of all, I'm going to add in the lead form. So at the top, I want them to be able to sign in. So that's the lead form. So all I did, right, to add that widget is I click, hold my mouse, and drag it to the left side to the blank page to drop that. And don't worry, we're going to edit this, so hang tight on that. I usually also want to add the listing under that. So it has the listing data right under their sign-in sheet. And then as far as adding anything else, it's up to you, right? This idea is that it's just a sign-in sheet that you would have up on your laptop or maybe your iPad whenever you host an open house. So when traffic comes in, you can have them go ahead and sign in, quote unquote, for security reasons or whatever the pitch is, so that their contact information comes to your command. And also, if you would like, I think I'll add an agent branded header, the branded header to the top, just so my contact information is at the top, and I think it looks nice. So I'm grabbing the branded header, and I can control where I'm dropping this by where that green line goes. So I want it at the top. So I'll use those 3 widgets. So now, right, reminder, this is grayed out. We cannot publish the page until we configure our widgets. And feel free to watch on my page if you would like to. I'm going to click configure widgets on the bottom. Now there's only one widget we technically have to worry about in order to launch this page, but I want to go ahead and put in, let's say in the top, in the very top widget, I could again put in proudly presenting 123 Main Street, right? Or welcome to today's open house, whatever you would like to put. Like the main 2 places that we will have to put in text for this open house sign-in sheet is this right here and this right here. And I'll show you both of these in a second here. So depending on how you want this to show, right? We edited the, well, spelling would be good, but proudly presenting on the top here. So then now I'm going to go to the next widget. Here. And this is where I can put in welcome to the open house. Please sign in. Whatever the case may be. So once I add in those 2 things, right, I can go ahead and click next to just simply add in the listing. Let's see. I wonder if, you know, I was practicing on Chrome Incognito before class, and I had all the listing images show up for this listing specifically. So that's making me wonder if it's Firefox specifically that is making the listing photos not show. So just in case, I'll look after class. If you need help with it, just let me know. But when using Chrome Incognito, I was given all listing photos. So that might be a browser thing in case you'd like to use Chrome Incognito. And I can always look into that after class if you'd like to shoot me an email. All right, so now that I have selected the listing, I'll save and apply. And I'm done, right? So I can rename it. Right, for this welcome sheet here, it's pretty easy, right? I just add in these 3 widgets. It's pretty basic. We just want them to be able to sign in. So maybe I'll name this, 123 Main Street open house sign in, and I'll publish that. So now that you have that created before the time of your open house, when you go to set up for the open house, let's say, excuse me, you brought your computer or your iPad and you have that set up, all you would need to do is come in here and grab this link to view that right away. So you could even text this to yourself to pull it up once you get to the open house, or email it to yourself, save it in your notes. But all you would need to do is essentially click on that, and it would then pull up the open house sign-in sheet. People will come in, fill in the form here, and that will send their contact information directly over to your command database, where you'll then receive a lead notification on the top right. You can set them up on saved searches, or even utilize this last and final landing page that I'm going to show you, called the neighborhood landing page. So this last and final landing page I'm going to show you, I should be able to wrap up class within about 7 minutes here if you'd like to stick around. This would actually be really useful for long-term buyers. So, you know, let's say in the narrative of this class, you had someone come to your open house, they filled in your sign-in sheet, so now they're in your command database. You talk to them, but they're not looking to buy within maybe a year, right? So they're a little more long-term. However, they are looking to maybe downsize within a year's time, but definitely not right now, right? They made it very clear, not right now. So if that's the case, let me show you a really exciting tool for your long-term buyers to help pique their interest in the neighborhoods that they're looking in. So first of all, where I am going to start this edit, I'm going to create a test contact if you would like to do that with me. I'm going to start in your command database. So the contact icon, the second icon down on the left-hand side. And let's go ahead and click Add Contact on the top right. And if you already have a practice contact in your account, great, you can use that. I'll go ahead and put in Baby Shark. If you have kids, you know, I can't get it out of my head. All right, whatever your client's name wants to be, it's really great to have a test contact in your account so that you can send yourself emails before you send it to your entire database. So very beneficial. You can name this practice contact, test, your favorite movie character, whatever you'd like to. And then for an email address, this is where I would actually recommend putting in a personal email address that you have, one that's outside of the KW system. Again, so you can see what it looks like when you receive emails from command before sending it to your entire database. So it's really all we need right here for this test contact. Put in the name and an email address. Again, any name and maybe a personal email that you have, I would suggest, and click create. Now, anytime that you add a contact to your database, it will always take you back up to the A's. Right, so you do need to search for your contact to pull that up. At this point in class, I usually get a question on how to alphabetize your list. So just in case you're curious of how to alphabetize your database, you would click on name on the top, and that will allow you to sort by last name or first name. But in this case, I'm going to use the search bar on the top left to search for my contact and simply open that up. So now that I have this contact record opened up, okay, so at this point, let's go ahead and open up a test contact and scroll down to the neighborhood section. Okay, so in this example, we have talked to our client and they told us, you know, hey, I'm not looking to buy or sell right now, but potentially, you know, we like this neighborhood, a couple of these neighborhoods, right? They told you in general, maybe their criteria or what neighborhoods they're interested in. So at this point, I would come into my command database and click Add Neighborhood. All right, when you click add neighborhood, it might prompt to know your location. I know that's a little creepy, but I would allow it. It makes this a lot easier. So putting in the neighborhood here, I'll go ahead and put in one of the neighborhoods that they indicated they're interested in. When I start typing in the neighborhood, you'll see a list of suggestions pop up. And from here, you'll need to go ahead and select that neighborhood. Once I select that neighborhood, it adds it in teal with an X right here. So this shows me which ones are selected. And I can X out of any that I didn't mean to add. So I can go about adding neighborhoods in a couple different ways, 3 ways to be exact. This is the first way, so I could keep searching in this bar right here for the neighborhoods they want. A second way is I could choose from these suggested neighborhoods. So I can go ahead and click on Longview or whatever, any of these that are close by to add this to the list. And the third and final way that you can search for neighborhoods is particularly useful if you have any trouble searching for the neighborhood name. Now these neighborhoods pull over to command from Nextdoor, like the Nextdoor app. So there's no way that you can edit this as the agent. I believe how Nextdoor gets their data is all the residents in the neighborhood come together to collaborate to pass on that data. So you do not have the option to edit how these neighborhoods display, like the name and where they display on the map. But this is the best workaround if you're having trouble finding a certain neighborhood. We can search on the map itself. So if I click Find on Map on the far right here, I'm again going to allow my location to be tracked. It'll bring up a map and in general put where you are in the US. However, I always suggest using the search on the top left to just search in general somewhere that's close by to where you are, just so it'll do most of the zooming for you. So again, I would always suggest doing a general search on the top left to zoom in for you. Now I can use the plus and minus sign on the bottom right to zoom in and out. And you'll notice as I start to zoom in further, I start to see more and more of these, I like to call them puzzle pieces. Okay, maybe I'm an old lady, but I like to think of these as puzzle pieces. And within each of these quote unquote puzzle pieces, you'll notice if I hover my mouse over it, it tells me what that neighborhood name is. So I can click to select it to add it to the list here. Now, the reason that this map search becomes particularly helpful is if you're searching for a neighborhood and that name is not pulling up, sometimes Nextdoor has these grouped a little differently. So for example, this one right here, this piece called Ballantyne. Ballantyne is a general area near me. It is not a residential neighborhood. So all of the residential neighborhoods in Ballantyne would be found within this quote unquote puzzle piece, okay? So again, you do not have the ability to change, how the neighborhood is districted on here. However, try to use the map to zoom in to where the neighborhood should be to see if that is in a bigger grouping here. And I can click save on the bottom. All right, so that has added in all of the neighborhoods that this client may be interested in. Okay, and around this time, I usually get questions about hot buyers wanting to put in, the exact zip code or city they're looking at. So hold tight to that question. This tool specifically is for your long-term buyers. I will address a better tool for your hot buyers looking to buy or sell now with more specific criteria. So hold tight to those questions. But for your long-term buyers, let me show you how cool this tool is that we just created by just 30 seconds of popping in some neighborhoods. So now on the bottom right of this little map, I have the option to either copy the link or preview it. I'm going to preview it so you can see what I created or what you created. So when I click on preview, it does pull up this neighborhood landing page. And firstly, it does give me, all of the neighborhoods that I put in here. It gives me a map of where that is. The client would be able to filter through these neighborhoods and any listings here. So the client for this tool would be able to determine, if they want to search by beds, baths, and price range. As far as the agent for this tool specifically, Your job is to put in the neighborhoods that they're interested in. I'll expand on that to explain why in just a second. So they can switch between the neighborhoods you put in here, and they can also click to add neighborhoods they want to add further. Now this listing search, I mean, that's pretty standard of, you know, any real estate tool, right? They can draw on it as well, which I think is cool, right? But above and beyond that, what it gives them on this page, other than just the listings, is if you click on neighborhood stats on the very top right, this is where I think things really get exciting. So this will show them for each of the neighborhoods that they're interested in. And this is also a reason this is helpful for sellers as well as buyers, because if your seller is listing in a certain neighborhood, this is a great live CMA for them. Okay, so whether it's for your buyer or for your listing client, this will show them, you know, some stats for the neighborhood here, average price per home, price per square foot, current and sold stats. Again, right, some of this information, right, you might see notes like that. You are not able to customize this, unfortunately. Again, this pulls from Nextdoor. That's good and bad. Obviously, it'd be nice to customize things like that. However, it builds the whole page for you. Okay, so you do not have to do anything to customize this. If I scroll down, we have the option to put in transit and commute. So in case I lost anyone, if you're looking at where I am on my page, great, hold tight. But in case anyone wants to pull up their neighborhood landing page that they created, okay, I'm in the contact record in command. And after you put in all the neighborhoods like we did here, I clicked on preview to open up a new tab. So preview on the bottom right, and that opens it up on a new tab. Okay. All right, so in these neighborhood stats, if I scroll on down, and this is where I could go ahead if they're an out of town client, you know, they could put in that they are working for Bank of America, you know, when they're moving, maybe they have no idea how close this neighborhood is to my place of work. They can go ahead and put that in, and it syncs with Google Maps, so they can get directions right to their phone from here. They can view nearby schools, which is of course a hot topic. Places, so this pulls from Yelp, so this will show them local restaurants, shopping, and so forth. Again, particularly helpful for your out-of-town clients who maybe aren't familiar with the area. And they can contact you, right? And all your contact information is automatically pulling from your command marketing profile. So now the next logical question is, how would I distribute this to my clients, right? This is a really cool tool. How do I get it to them? So I am switching tabs to show you guys that. In case you pulled this open, that does open in a separate tab. So I'm switching back to the tab that says command contacts, in case you followed me. I know the switching tabs gets confusing. So I am on the command contacts tab. I just want to talk shortly how we would go about distributing now this to our clients. Oh, we can do that in two ways. First of all, you can do it in a one-time email. So if you just want to shoot them a quick email with this link, you can do that. So if you want to click copy link right here, and then let's say I pull up, I'm pulling up my email. Hang on, guys. Just to show you this. Let's say I pull over my email and I say, you know, hi client, I created this personalized website for you to search through neighborhoods you may be interested in. Okay, and so you can paste that in here. And so if they were to even save that website or come back to it, it'll always show the most up-to-date listings. So if they save this and come back to it in a week, again, it will show the newest listings in a week, in a month. Okay, so that's one way, is that you can manually send that to your client. If you're talking to them about it and you just want to send this to your client real quick so that they have this resource, you can do that from a one-off email. However, what KW or the system also has the option to send this through smart plans. And this is actually a whole class in itself, but I have a 10-minute tip on this as well I'm going to share out, but I will explain it to you. So I'm just in the chat, I'm putting a short video on what I'm about to explain to you further. So you can create smart plans in the system with these neighborhoods. It's called the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan or the biweekly neighborhood nurture smart plan. And what it would do is it would automatically email out that landing page that we created, the neighborhood landing page, to your clients, either, you know, biweekly, once every other week, or once a month, depending on when you set that up. Okay, so again, the smart plan is created in order to automatically send that out. The smart plan section of Command is right here. Okay, and again, I posted a video in the chat that will show you, I believe it's just a 10-minute video on how to set up the smart plan. So once you have your clients, you have the neighborhoods added in, that's the big first step to setting up the smart plan. Then you'll be able to come over to your smart plans library here. So the smart plans here, and this is just a quick overview for you guys to just show you this exists, okay? So don't feel like you have to know it based on this. But once you're in your smart plans in the library, this is where we have the biweekly neighborhood nurture and the monthly neighborhood nurture. And again, the tip video I shared in the chat will show you how to activate this and add your clients to it, but that would allow that neighborhood landing page to go out automatically once a month or once every 2 weeks or so. Okay, I just want to wrap up the class by just explaining why this is such a cool tool for your clients, and then what a better tool would be for your hot buyers. Okay, so I'm sorry, I switched tabs again, not to lose anyone. I'm just back on this landing page to show you what I'm referencing to talk about here. So this neighborhood landing page, I just want to explain the reason this is so useful for your long-term buyers is, you know, let's say John and Gina, right? They're not looking to buy for a year, but you start sending them this, just, you know, this is very passive marketing once a month, maybe once every 2 weeks, that shows them neighborhoods that they're interested in. Right? And yeah, the clients weren't looking to buy for a year, but all of a sudden Gina is looking at these beautiful listings in the neighborhood she wants to live in, and there's a perfect home for them and it's live right now. So suddenly you are taking out buyers that weren't going to be buying for a year. Suddenly they saw a listing on this neighborhood listings, a landing page, that prompted them to call you to take them out right away, to at least just look at the listing that they saw, right? So that is a great way to help move long-term buyers to a little more short-term. Okay, I find that sending them neighborhoods as opposed to specific listings, right, makes them feel like they're a little more in control and they're a little less pressured to reach out to you as well. Like they're doing a little bit of their research their own. Right? And that's really helpful for long-term buyers who don't want to be bombarded by an agent right now. That is one of the reasons I really, really love this listing, or sorry, the neighborhood landing page, and I use it a lot. Just to explain, if you have a saved search, if you have a hot buyer looking to buy or sell right now, who did I use? Oh, Baby Shark. If you have a hot buyer looking to buy or sell right now, or in the next 3 months, however you deem a hot buyer, instead of the neighborhood landing page, right, I'm in their contact record. For hot buyers, you would want to use the save searches instead generally. So the save searches, you can create a save search. It's generally just the same thing as your what you would use in the MLS to set up a save search. So the main difference would be here, you can put in, you know, it's a city, what city they're interested in, a price point, beds, baths. So this is where you can be specific with your criteria that they indicate to you versus just putting in, you know, in general, the neighborhood that they're looking in. So again, long-term buyers, I would recommend the neighborhood landing page. Hot buyers, the save searches would be great for that. All right, guys, if you have questions on all of this, I do realize that there are some questions in the chat. I'm going to try and eye over, but please shoot me an email if I did not get to your question at support@scottleroymarketing.com, and attention, my name, which is Leah. I'll put this in the chat. I'm just going to close down here. If you're watching this recorded, I will put any notes in the description of this YouTube video, so you can check that out here. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let us know. Support@scottleroymarketing.com. I'll be sticking on for anyone that's here live, but if you're watching recorded, I hope this helped. Take care.